Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 17 online ranked match. Our 32 team preview series for the upcoming NFL season is rolling through Cleveland today. Now, more people will probably enjoy watching the Cleveland Browns show than watching the Cleveland Browns, and that might be the case this year, but especially if you're a Browns fan, you're not exactly evaluating the Browns based on how they do this season. You're watching two things this year mainly. One, all the young talent the Browns have. They got rid of a lot of veteran players, partially because people don't want to play in Cleveland. Like, they lost Schwartz, their right tackle. They lost Alex Mack, their center. Two of the guys that made the offensive line so great the past couple of years in Cleveland, they're gone. You got a bunch of young talent now, and you're hoping these guys are players that you could build a good environment around. They play well, so when free agency comes up, you know, they're really good guys they could keep around instead of losing them, like a lot of their players have. And then they also got rid of a lot of veteran players that are doing decently, like Dante Whitner, Carlos Dansby, all gone. So the Browns, don't want to say they're tanking, but they're definitely getting a lot younger and trying to take a new approach to building a team, because clearly what they've been doing the past couple of years is not working. That's the first thing. The second thing you're watching is the quarterback position, because you got Robert Griffin III, who might be the biggest wild card in the NFL right now at the quarterback position, because for all we know, RG3, especially the way he's playing in the preseason right now, I know it's preseason, but you know, he's really showing flashes of someone who is capable of being a starting NFL quarterback, and you got RG3 under contract for 2 years, and if you can keep him around, that's pretty big for the franchise. They did draft Cody Kessler this year, but you know, you're really hoping this Robert Griffin III experiment works out, and like I said, judging by the way he's playing in preseason so far, you know, pretty damn good. And that's without his top receiving weapon this year, Corey Coleman, and actually his top two, Corey Coleman and Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon supposedly is supposed to be coming back. If he actually does, you gotta see it to believe him when it comes to that guy. But if those two come back, you know, you got some really great weapons around him, and then you got Gary Barnidge, great tight end, you know, good run blocking tight end, good pass receiving tight end, you do a little bit of everything, and you mix that all together and you got something decent. You got Hawkins, and then the Browns drafted like 500 different wide receivers this year, and you're hoping you're really hoping Coleman's a star, because you passed up on receivers like Doxson and Treadwell to take Corey Coleman, so they definitely have a lot of confidence in him. Definitely a pick that has to hit for them. So by the way, we're not really talking too much about the game in the background, we're just talking about the Browns right here, just in case you were wondering. So you're hoping that hits, and then like they have like 500 receivers, hoping one of those other guys hit. And then the rest of the offensive line still okay. Obviously, you have Joe Thomas, who is lights out every single year. You got Bitonio, who didn't play as good in his second year as he did in his first year. You're hoping he turns it around. Greco is about an average right guard. Cameron Irving, who's going to be playing center this year. The Browns kind of anticipated Alex Mack leaving, so they drafted Irving, I believe, last year, and now this is Irving's time to shine. This is the year he's supposed to take over, and check this out, man. Check out Frank freaking Gore right here. What is this all about? Like, really? And by the way, you guys saw one of the receiving weapons I totally forgot to mention, Terrell Pryor. Speaking of wild cards, Terrell Pryor is playing receiver for this team, and he just caught a touchdown for us. And who knows how that experiment's going to work out. So yeah, this Browns team is all about experiments, and it's really, you know, it's okay, but it's all about these young guys hitting. Yeah, I talked about Corey Coleman. On the defensive side, you're hoping Ogba works out. Emmanuel Ogba, second round pick. He was taking, I think, 33 overall pick. Of course, the Browns, you know, they traded down. They got a bunch of picks this year, so there's a ton of guys. But Ogba and Coleman are the main two guys that you're hoping work out, and he's a pass rusher. The Browns do not have many good pass rushers, so you really need that pick to hit right there. And the Browns' defense in general is just a complete work in progress. Danny Shelton, you're hoping works out good. You got Paul Kruger, who's okay there. You got John Hughes, I believe it is, and there's just a bunch of other guys around them. Joe Hayden's the only like staple out there. Tramon Williams is getting older, so you don't know how many more years he's got left in the tank. And even Joe Hayden had a subpar season last year. You don't know that was just because, you know, he got tired of playing on the Browns or what. But Hayden's gonna need a bounce back year this year. And then the secondary, I think you got Jordan Poyer and Campbell back there. I don't exactly. I'm not gonna tell you I'm a Cleveland Brown expert, but it's nothing too special back there. They do have Christian Kirksey, who played decently last year. Most people people know him as the Tiny Titan, but he was actually pretty decent last year. And you're hoping that he can at least be, you know, a first or second string middle linebacker or outside linebacker, whatever you're trying to. Someone that can contribute. He's not a star player, but you're hoping, you know, you could groom him to be a contributor as we take our, what, third field goal of the game? I keep on taking field goals out here. I can only throw touchdowns to Terrell Pryor for some reason. Otherwise, you know, I'm booting it away. So overall, I really don't expect the Browns to do anything more than like 5 wins max. I would give them. If RG3 plays really good, you know, you can maybe exceed that cap of like 4 or 5 wins. But, I mean, even with that, it's going to be really hard to win with this team. The running back committee is a little bit confusing, as it has been the past couple of years. Ever since the Trent Richardson deal didn't work in Cleveland, they've just been bringing in a bunch of different guys like Crowell, Duke Johnson, and, you know, you got like a bunch of other guys. What was his name? Terrence West was there for a while before they cut him for being overweight and all that garbage. So, I don't know what the run game is going to bring for them. But you do have Hugh Jackson, and a lot of people are high on Hugh Jackson in the NFL. He had a lot of great years in Cincinnati. I think he had 1 or 2 good years in Oakland too. And, you know, he's got a good reputation, and with pairing him with Robert Griffin III, and hopefully, you know, with a decent offensive line, he could build the run game that he was trying to build in Cincinnati, where they were running the ball great for so many years, and bringing at least that Bengals mindset where they have the consistency going. They're rivals, but they don't win playoff games with the Bengals. You can't argue against the fact that they are consistently a good team every single year, and they draft very well. So you're hoping, you know, I mean, the head coach can bring that mindset, but at least install that, because you really, for the Browns, it's a rebuilding year. They have to build a culture in this environment for the team, because everyone knows the Cleveland Browns stink. That's the MO. That's the way it's been. They haven't made the playoffs in a billion years. They haven't been good since Derek Anderson was quarterback, and even then, he had like, what, 1 good year. So that's the thing. It's looking positive right now for them to build that environment as we get a user pick that's going to end up being the last play of the game. But it's still a work in progress, and it all starts with Robert Griffin III, Corey Coleman, and then you got Emmanuel Ogbah as well. Danny Shelton, Irving, all those guys, it all starts with them. We'll see how that works out for the Browns. I'm iffy. It's really, you can't evaluate Youngstown. You just gotta wait and see with that. So leave a like in the video if you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about the Cleveland Browns. You guys think they're heading in the right direction? How RG3 is gonna do this year? Subscribe for more, and I will catch you guys next time.